Time out is Kill Cito, the spirit coach, getting you in shape and form for the age of Aquarius yet again. You're now drinking the wine of Zeus. We're going to talk about why you should never fight the system. So, we all know about oppression. We all know about systematic oppression. We all know about how systems, are targeted, based upon narratives that's put out into the world for sheep-minded to kind of participate on. So, let me get my notebook out and we're going to handle this subject because, I know a lot of people, deal with this. And for the most part, really this is kind of a spell for y'all cheap-minded people to kind of utilize as an opposition for yourself. But this is on a spiritual level where I get into that context. And I don't really know if I want to get into that context as of yet. But, fighting the system essentially is you just fighting somebody that's organized or something that's organized. Okay? So why would you want to fight against something that's organized unless it's organized for you to fall and stuff like that? So I get that context of it, but I'm going to break it down in a point of how there's no even point of even fighting the system or even knowing why that should be a mission in the first place. So there's no point in fighting the system. Okay, so let me break this down. So the first reason that is no point in fighting the system and why fighting the system is stupid and why you should never fight. And this, my message is not only for people that's black, but it's people oppressed in different types of ways, but it's for the whole world. So the first reason why you should not fight the system. First of all, a system takes several years to create. Okay, so within that, do know you're fighting something that took several years, blood, sweat, and tears, and care to create. Don't think it's sweet when it comes to fighting systems. So that's why you shouldn't, because it's a lot of energy put into that system for that system to run to make whoever that system run for, and the group of spirits or the group of people that they, so chose to help it work for them. Okay, so that's the first reason. It takes several years to create. You know what I'm saying? The second one, fighting a system takes several people who are already a system, creating a system, and the system that likely that y'all fighting, it takes several people, and those people are likely already dead. So you don't necessarily just want to jump into that like that as well, because you're about to be fighting dead people. Now, let me tell you how these dead people keep up their system. Their descendants. So the descendants of that system, okay, are the current workers or feeders of that system. So it could be you, unwillingly, unknowingly. Every time you go spend a motherfucking dollar with a George Washington face on it, you working for a system. You know what I'm saying? You're feeding that system. So, all right, so that's another reason. For example, let me make this simple. It would be very hard to fight the system of basketball unless you kill every potential player, coach, owner, and fan that has the ability to teach it. Okay? So if you don't want to go to prison for the rest of your life, I would suggest not to go that way. Okay? Basketball is a system in itself. It was created by some people. It's a running system. So fighting the system of basketball, unless you're willing to kill every potential player, every potential coach, owner, or a fan that has the ability to teach it, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no point of fighting that system. So, like I said, to avoid fighting the system, to fight the system in that way, as y'all kind of just saying it so like wildly or whatever, or it was given to y'all, by the powers that be to, get y'all wound up and stuff about it, then, I wouldn't take that approach, okay? Now, the approach that I would take is play your own game, okay? Create your own system, okay? What you can do is, if basketball is oppressing you for the most part, stop playing, okay? If it's oppressing you for the most part, stop playing, okay? Then play your own game, right? Because once you play your own game, you can put yourself into a position where play your own game and you have your own way to go about things. You know what I'm saying? And then guess what? It's going to have to be good for the purpose of others. All right. Now, if others don't see that system that you playing as your own game as valuable in achieving some of the things that you were going to achieve in a sense of basketball, that you per se, like we're using basketball as an example, then you need to go back to the drawing board. Okay? So you got to play your own game, and then you got to know the risk of playing your own game. This is the last remark I'm going to make. So once you play your own game, you don't want to play basketball because it's oppressing you. So you don't want to fight that system because it'll be too many people to try to stop that system because based upon how they conditioned and lived upon it. What you can do is create your own game, play your own game. And once your game get good enough, if it achieves the same outcomes as the people that play basketball, then, you know what I'm saying, now the people that play basketball can see your own game as more useful. It do the same things. It fulfill the same needs. It fulfill the same, security, safety, shelter, basic needs, right? Then once they start doing that, and if it look easier, then okay, now they playing your game. Now it's going to take some creativity. That don't mean it's going to be easy doing it. So you got to know how to do it, if it's worth it, etc. Now, this gets me into my other point, my next point. Know the risk of playing your own game, okay? Know that people are always going to not understand how you play your own game, okay? You might get ridiculed. You might get talked about. You know what I'm saying? You might get shamed, you know what I'm saying, by your closest people, places, and things. If they not on the same page as you as far as you creating your own system, right? All right, let's keep it going. Now, know that playing your own game of basketball comes with insecurity. Playing your own game or creating your own system. Know that comes with insecurity and the risk, and is the risk worth the reward? That's what you got to ask yourself. Is the risk worth the reward of you going ahead playing your own game system? And is the reward is basically just a calculated outcome of not taking matters into your own hands. So if I don't take that matters in my own hands of me creating my own system, then is that outcome going to be detrimental other than me taking this risk to achieve this reward? Okay? And that's how you can know if you're taking the right steps and come to your own conclusion about, creating your own system. So instead of fighting the system, don't fight the system. People have been doing that for years. That hasn't been working. People been arguing for years. People been protesting for years. That hasn't been working. Create your own system. Get to work. Look at how they did it. How a system was created in a place for a vote, or a system was created in a place for, and get your ass to work. It ain't no other way. All right? Get your ass in the game.